7:39. It is my pleasure to bring the a man. He's the chair of the County Board of Legislators. He's used to hearing both sides of a story. Please welcome, without further ado, the chairman of the County Board of Legislators, Ken Jenkins. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, Bob, and good morning, Westchester.
That sound like one of your meetings?
Yeah, you know something? It actually doesn't. You know what? Because having people be able to express their views on both sides of the aisle, or 5 sides of the aisle, doesn't really matter, is what we really do. And what we really need to work on, and your previous caller, Frank, had a good point as far as people being able to disagree. You had the point of disagree without being disagreeable.
Right. And that's my job to try and moderate it. But the particular breach wasn't on my show, and I thought Lou did his very best to moderate it. But that's that for another day. What are the hot issues in front of the board these days, sir?
Well, you know, we're still continuing with our housing issue, and now that we've moved past the source of income issue, where we have put it back in the county executive's purview to come to the board with a piece of legislation that he can support. He may or may not do that, but right now that's not on the board's agenda. Now we're working on trying to deal with our analysis of impediments document, which is holding up $14 million that would go to all those very needy communities throughout Westchester County. So that's what we're working on right now as far as a main focus. But we're getting ready for budget season, and certainly we have a few lawsuits that are hanging in the suit that will impact that. But the bottom line for the people of Westchester, they should know that Westchester County continues to be in good fiscal shape. And now as long as we continue to moderate and maintain our fiscal balance and fiscal sanity without trying to move and shift all costs and call them fees instead of tax increases to the people, we'll be okay.
All right, let me ask you about the budget process. Now, how are we doing with expenditures and receipts right now, and where do you think we're headed budget-wise this year?
Well, we're doing, unfortunately for the county, is that the county executive undercut the amount of revenue, so he understated the amount of revenue that was necessary. So we're in a $29 million hole that was caused by the administration's failure to budget for increases in pay that they were negotiating. So they decided not to do that. The budget director stated on the record that they purposely did that and not letting the legislature have that information so that we could make reasonable choices. And now they also have a problem that they understated the tobacco settlement income by $12 million. So we're in a situation that we'll be able to balance it because, again, we have a comfortable reserve for Westchester County. But the administration clearly does not have their hands around the numbers and does not understand exactly what the heck they're doing as far as budgeting is concerned when they would purposely short the budget process for those particular departments and causing us to have a deficit.
743. Speaking of budgets, one of the items that's been in the paper a lot lately, I wanted to get a sense for where you stand on the whole issue regarding Rye Playland.
Well, where we stand on Playland is very clear. That Playland is a park. It is a jewel for Westchester County. We understand that people are always concerned about how much revenue and expenses that it costs. Playland is the cheapest park that we run in Westchester County. It costs less than $3 per taxpayer for Playland's existence. It's something that we think that is essential to the fabric of Westchester County. And as a whole, the legislature has been very clear in saying that it's not going anywhere. That doesn't say that we should not look and analyze and determine whether or not there could be efficiencies in the department. The department always states that very clearly, but it's not going to be, outsourced. Where there is not going to be something that happens like that, no matter what the county executive proposes. Mm-hmm. The county board has the final bottom line in that. So we actually asked for and passed a resolution to have an outside audit done for Playland to be able to have a better handle on the numbers because for some strange reason we were not getting all that information from the administration, although it's the law that they have to provide it to us. In the last 3 weeks, for an example, Bob, all of a sudden we increased revenue in the slowest time of the park by threefold. So somebody's numbers aren't correct. So either the early numbers that we were being provided by the administration were incorrect, which we knew they were because they were not including all the cost centers. And also, cost centers meaning that the revenue coming in from parking, from the concessionaires, were not being included. It was just attendance numbers, which is ridiculous. So the Playland Playland makes over a revenue stream of $13 million.
Wow. Hey, listen, we're out of time, and I was on a short leash today, but I promised to make it up to you. County Chairman, thank you very much.
Anytime, Bob. Have a great day.
You be well. You too, sir.